Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode, DABSports. You got D, Adam, Brandon. Uh, we want to thank y'all for tuning in. You know the vibes. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Go to Spotify. We over there. Like, just go everywhere. We everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Find us. Check the links. It's in the description. We there. But let's get to it. A tough loss this past week against another equally bad team, um, the Cowboys, and that game was way more lopsided than I think any of us expected. Um, but let's get to it. We can start off with Brandon Young. What did you think about this last performance of your boy and the Panthers overall?
I think that that was probably the first time in about 3-4 weeks we actually got beat. We actually, we lost. We got beat down. I feel like the game plan we had on offense and defensive side of the ball was pretty weak. We abandoned the run very early. I know we went down. They had scored. We was down 7-0, and then Bryce, of course, had fumbled the rock on that drive at the end in the red zone, so that cost us. But we went away from the run after that, and I was kind of wondering why on that. We made Cooper Rush look like he was dang on Joe Montana out there, which is crazy to me. The scheme was terrible on defense. We had Woods and just safeties in general covering CD Lamb in the slot, which was kind of crazy. And J.C. Horn didn't travel at all. The offensive line gave up 6 sacks, which I believe might have been the most all season. Of course, Bryce had 4 turnovers, so that doesn't help. So it was just all around just a bad performance, man. We got beat down. Maybe everything kind of went to the team. I don't know how can the talk go to people's head when you haven't won in 3-4 weeks, but it kind of seems like maybe the national coverage got a little bit to the squad. But yeah, it was just disappointing.
Yeah, man, I second that. I mean, it it was weird because when we was doing the score predictions, a lot of the stuff that we thought was gonna happen happened. The only difference was I don't think anybody thought that they were just gonna completely stop our offense, and we couldn't stop them from really scoring. To me, even though the score was lopsided, they really didn't like dominate us. I think they were still like heavily penalized, just like we talked about. They had more penalties than us. I think they broke a record or something. They would kept talking about different stats throughout the game. I think what was costly though was they had key penalties. I was just looking at the numbers. They had five of their penalties went for first downs. None of the penalties they gave us granted us a first down. So they were costly penalties at certain times, and obviously the turnovers don't help. So yeah, man, it was tough, man, because we kept taking good steps in the right direction, and there was still some bright spots out there. Like I'm sure we'll get to our MVPs and stuff later, but like Josie still was a thug on defense. You know what I mean? I think it's just like his third or fourth game straight with 10 tackles. You know what I mean, leading the team. So I don't know, bro. It's just it was tough to see. It's tough to see.
Yeah, um, I kind of got two things to come out of that. The first one is um, we for the past two games, I've been kind of praising the defensive coordinator. Um, that first half, it's almost like he didn't know CD Lamb was elite. Like, what are we doing there? Like, you can't have Woods on him, coming back. Like you, and after the first score, that should kind of be the sign of like, hey, this ain't working. So to then have it happen again is kind of crazy when you're talking about top five receiver. Like if and if he's not, he's six. Like we talking about one of the true elite receivers in the league, and to one not even double, but two have the solo person be Woods. That's kind of tough.
Yeah.
And then my thought on it is, like I mentioned in the last pod, um, just expectations, bro. Like we were favored. This is the first time that people were expecting the Panthers to win, and I saw Bryce Young come up small. He had the Coker and Savior, you know, got open, got him a long ball, but outside of that, like it was a poor performance, and that's kind of my fear, kind of going forward with Bryce, it brought all those back up. It's like, all right, now you were expected to play well, and you didn't play well against a team that we don't deem to be all that great. Granted, a lot of their defense was getting healthy, so that was more of the expected Cowboys defense, especially when they get the lead. They're, kind of like the old Colts with Peyton. Like they get a lead, they got they got the ends to get pressure and get home.
Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so we kind of saw that, and there's just a lot of the old Bryce, and that's kind of what I saw out of
We
that
was
game.
talking about me and Tip. Just to keep you on that point for a second, Spake. Like we were talking about the expectations. Do you really feel like? Because we were texting, so I ain't really get to talk to you. Do you really feel like? Because to me, the national media wasn't really saying that the Panthers was going to definitely win this game. Vegas had its favor, you know what I mean? But sometimes they set betting lines just so people can bet in the wrong side, you know what I mean? And I guarantee you a lot of people lost money betting against the Cowboys this weekend. So, I mean, with that being said, Carter kind of said it earlier. Do you really feel like a team who hasn't won, we won 3 games all season, you really feel like they felt like they were expected to win? Or I feel like we were expected to have a better performance. You know what I mean?
Um, so I think it's a combination of both. Um, One is like this is one of the first, even on this pod, like both of you all picked the Panthers to win. Hell, I think it's to lose close. So I wasn't even expecting a blowout. So a lot of this is one of the first games where I would say at minimum 50% of people either thought the Panthers could win or at least keep it close, and it was expecting us to be a feisty, like underdog who isn't too great. So like the expectations has changed. Like we've been moved from that Jacksonville, Las Vegas Raiders, like the way national media talk about us. It's like the Raiders, Giants, Jaguars. We're like the step above that. Is the way it's kind of what being covered. So when those granted, it ain't like Super Bowl expectations, but it still is somewhat, expectations of, hey, play well, and we didn't. And the biggest comparison I got, this team behind me, like, I don't know if y'all remember the last year that we was the Bobcats. We made the playoffs. We was the fifth seed. A lot of people, so it'd be the first year we was the Hornets, this 14-15 season. We was coming to Hornets. Everybody was picking us to finish top four, as low as five. We just signed Lance Stevenson. When we was a lovable underdog, made the playoffs as a Bobcat. Once we became expected, fell flat, missed the playoffs. Might have been like the 10th seed that year. And the phrase in basketball, good stats, bad team, like we've seen that before. So when you kind of expected to win, it's a difference to me to be expected to win and can't win versus, oh, you play well when nobody expects you anything. And against the teams we played, the Chiefs, Eagles, nobody was picking us to win, yet alone play well. So there's zero, expectation there.
I don't think I haven't. I mean, maybe you got the clip, but I ain't really seen national media say we was a good team. All I've seen national media is pretty much say that we're a bad team that's been playing hard. That's kind of what it's been saying, and it's more been about we found a quarterback. It's not been, oh, we're going out here, we're going to beat people. End of the day, the Cowboys are still 5-8 or 5-8 team or 6-8 team, whatever they were at that time. And I think that was more about Cowboy hate more than people actually watching the tape on us.
Oh no, I wasn't saying nobody was saying it's a good team. I'm just saying over the past couple of weeks we have separated into that the basement of teams. Like don't nobody up before this game was we kind of removed from the Jacksonville Jaguars basement team, Giants, Raiders. Like
Vegas. Yeah, I agree
yeah,
with
like
that. Yeah,
yeah, so that part
and
is
we
what I'm saying. I'm not saying by any stretch was people saying we were good, but this has been last week was the most in any form Vegas national media who picked games like where we've been picked the most since I don't know maybe people
I
picked us
just
against the Giants, but
It's the first time we've been favored in
want
2 years. So.
yeah.
yeah,
What I
that's
would
what
say though,
yeah.
what I would say about the expectations though is that might be more of a culture thing. I mean, we don't even know our culture right now. We've had so much change, GM, front office, coaching staff. So, you know, we don't even know what our culture is. So, I can't really say to if we didn't handle the expectations well, as you want to call it, or that's fair to say that we didn't handle the expectations of actually being a better team once we kind of got out of that basement, like we just said. But I don't think we could pinpoint that to one person. I mean, every single group let us down, except maybe special teams. And even then, well, I can't really blame them for what Turpin does. But, at the same time, like you said, defense was terrible. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
our offense didn't put them in great positions throughout the game, but the defense, whereas, they had a couple strong possessions, but we got lucky, like the one at the end of the first half. I mean, at the end of the first half, where we really needed to stop because they was going to go up by 3 scores, and they fumbled the ball. I mean, we got lucky there. So, I mean, the defense, there was people on Panthers Twitter that was calling for the DC's job, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how
Oh,
bad
that.
of a showing it was.
I mean,
So,
this is just the year. It was bad all the way around. The line was bad too. It was the worst game for the line. So yeah,
everything. The line was
Yeah,
bad.
I mean, you
but
can't just pinpoint something on one player when every position group was bad. Sam Franklin had costly 15-yard penalties on special teams, so everybody was bad.
It was just trash all around
yeah,
performance.
and I understand the whole DC. Like, honestly, I feel like if he didn't have the past 2 good weeks that
He'd
he
be
had,
he'd be
like
gone, bro. He'd be
because
gone. Yeah.
because I don't get it wrong, Lamb they move Lamb in motion a lot, so I understand that adds to the difficulty of defending him. But to have him multiple times 1-on-one, and that one person guarding him ain't Horn, is
Yeah.
is kind of
Right.
ridiculous.
Because
Like,
if so, you gonna tell me Horn can't match up with him, but every time CD is cooking, he's finding this dude. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
yeah,
in my mind, what happened to the travel corner? You know what I mean? The corner that would travel. And maybe that's not JC's skill set to be, or maybe that's just not the defense we run. But
No, yeah, it ain't the defensive one. I mean, he made questionable decisions anyway. I mean, I don't think he did great the last 2 weeks. To be honest, he continues to put our best coverage corner blitzing like on third downs, on critical downs. Luckily, last game JC actually got home, but it's like, bro, what are you doing here? And then you sit here, you look at Wanham. He dropped Wanham in coverage about 3 or 4 times. That's by far our best DN. Like
but
their Brad
you heard what
pass
Greg.
rushing. Why is he out trying to cover running back on third downs, critical downs? Like. Bro,
Yeah. No,
I
I
mean,
mean
he's
some
not
of it's
it.
questionable. I mean, we can only like really assume because you know what I'm saying. Obviously, we not the football guys, but when you hear dudes like Greg talk about it, Greg said, I mean, he is running a feast of famine defense. We all heard it on the broadcast this Sunday, and it really makes sense. If you're down guys and you know that you're outmanned and you don't have like the speed on the back end nor the talent, um, then you have to try to make up with it some other ways. And that's either obviously he's been dialing up the blitz a lot, and he's been trying to bring a lot of pressure, and it leaves us, susceptible to either big plays on the ground. They'll gash us or they'll hit us over the top, and you know what I mean. It's like I said, it's a feast of famine. It's been working the past few weeks. I guess I don't think anybody foresaw that, you know, with Cooper Rush at the quarterback position, that would be that dangerous to put up 30 or more on us. I just didn't see that coming, bro.
I and I agree with that. But with that being said, if you told me Woods is covering Lamb, oh yeah, they might
I'm
get
not signing
30.
up for that.
Like,
Yeah, I'm not signing up for that. I'm not signing up for that.
like
Bro, that was the only matchup that we was all looking forward to was Horn versus CD. I mean, they were talking about
so.
it during the week, so I just don't understand why ever like that's our ace right now. We don't have Derek Brown. You know what I'm saying? JC is the feature guy on defense. Feature him. Like, why is he over there guarding Turpin and these other scrubs? You know what I mean? Like, I mean,
He
bro,
has
I bet you
he,
that was just
he ain't
crazy.
been letting them travel. It's crazy. He ain't been letting them travel. I don't get it. He ain't been doing it
But
all year.
So with okay.
I ain't saying nothing.
Oh, so with that being said, um, if you can find one, is there an MVP that you guys have? For me, we already know who it is. It's our Coker and Savior making his return. He's, to me, our best receiver. There is no debate. There is no questions. Um,
I agree.
E- Excel gonna have to get it together, but
Yeah.
this is Coker's our number one, and I like him going forward. Sanders, I still like, but since the injury, he don't quite seem the same. So we'll kind of see how that go. But who do you guys have?
Go ahead, Carter. Oh, I don't know if Carter can hear me or not, but If since you got Coker, I actually was gonna go with Coker as well. But like I said, man, I'm gonna continue to shout for my dog Josie, bro. He's just been holding it down. I mean, once again, like I said, he led the team with tackles again. I just looked it up, third week in a row with 10 plus tackles. Keeping the green dot. I mean, he's been a great pickup for us, bro. I mean, he had some really big plays throughout the game, and he never stops working. He got a little dinger, had to go into the blue tent for a few plays, and you saw he was running. We was down by 2 scores, and he was still ready, just to run back out in the field. So I can't say enough about what Josie is bringing to the defense this year, man. Hopefully he can stick around. Who you
Yeah,
got, Carter?
I'm on. I get my. I'm muted. You said I'm muted.
No, I was just saying who you got.
I can hear you.
Oh, all right. Yeah, nah. I'll give mine to I would give my game MVP to Ashawn Robinson. I think Ashawn Robinson has been real disruptive in the middle. I felt like, the bright spots we did have, they've been moving them around as far as we were pushing the pocket back at different points in time. Clowney, honorable mention too, but yeah, I give it to Ashawn Robinson. I feel like he stepped in since Derek Brown's been gone and really held that role down. And last week, I felt like, the blight spots we did have, he still was blowing up the run. He had some tackles for loss. I give it to Ashawn Robinson.
Yeah, man, and I shout out to
Oh,
Jadeveon
okay.
too, bro. Shout out to Jadeveon, bro. He had some, he's been making big plays. I feel like one of the knocks on him when he was coming out was that he would take plays off, and so I always kind of looked at him as like a super talented but lazy player. And he's, he never gives up on plays when he gives a lot of effort out there. I like what I'm seeing. I did have a one good stat for you, Spate, as far as Coker is concerned, so when you think of Coker and X, the narrative is like X is faster. He might get better separation right now, but like Panthers released their inside the numbers this morning after the game, and like Coker speed wise, I mean he's topped. He's the fastest wide receiver we've had, like miles per hour wise, since DJ. You know what I'm saying? He's clocked the highest speed this season. Obviously he's had like our biggest plays of the season. The play that he made against Denver on the sideline, that ranked on NFL's next gen stats says the top 4 or number 4 out of the top 5 list of most improbable caught passes this season. So, you know what I'm saying? Coker has been playing really well, bro. I can't wait to see like how he takes this joint up to another level. Our Coker and Savior, and Coker we trust, man.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, so with that, we might always go to the favorite segment, Adam's trivia. Adam, what you got for us today?
Yeah, man. So hold on one second. Sorry, we had an ambulance running by my crib. But and because the Pro Bowl is coming up, I wanted to see if you guys could list out our last 5 Pro Bowlers that were selected. Y'all think y'all can do that?
Yeah, last 5 Pro Bowlers. I say Luke and Cam.
Cam is actually, he's an honorable mention, but he was not one of the
Mm.
last 5 selected. You said Luke and Cam. Cam is an honorable mention. He got it in
Oh, okay.
2015, but he's not. He was not one of the
Okay.
last 5. Luke got it in 2019, so he is one of them. Who is the
Okay.
most?
All right. All
Can
right.
y'all
Cool.
guess the most recent? I feel like that's the easiest one.
Yep. Um, DJ Moore,
Nope.
I was gonna say DJ Moore, but CMC got to be in there too.
Yeah, CMC got there 2022.
Kawan Short,
KK Short was actually an honorable mention for 2014, but he wasn't one of our last 5.
Mm.
um, Luke Kuechly is too.
You
Luke
already said
Kuechly.
you already said Luke, and
Oh
you
yeah, he
got
already
Luke
said
and
Luke.
C-Mac. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, Luke C. Mack.
Trey Turner or
Trey Turner
Norhill.
from 2019. Yes, sir.
Oh, he was? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
Trey
Shaq.
Turner. Now I don't think Shaq got a Pro Bowl.
Nah, Shaq ain't a Pro Bowler. DJ ain't get one either. Not with us.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a little harder than I thought it was gonna be. Say Christian. Um,
Yeah.
nah, not Stu. Um,
You about to go too far
shoot.
back. So I'll start giving y'all a little hint. So just to list them out, right now y'all got the most recent one, C-Mac 2022. We got Luke and Trey in
Mm-hmm.
2019. Um, we
Mm-hmm.
have another defensive player in 2017.
Not short, but what was his running mate?
Who's Star?
Star.
Star was gone by then. Star was gone by then. This is
Okay.
somebody's running. This is somebody's running mate, but not KK's running mate. Come on, fellas.
Shoot. Burns.
Nah, this is Thomas
You
Davis.
said it was,
TD got it in
oh yeah.
2017. I can't
Oh,
believe y'all didn't
he
even
was
guess
still getting
TD.
Pro Bowls then.
Yes, in 2017, he got 100 tackles that
That's
year.
crazy.
Yeah, he was still on the
That's
team.
crazy.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he was
That's
still on
still
the
getting
crazy.
team.
tackles that
I
year,
thought
bro.
about him
So
too.
yeah, and then we got for the last selection is two players. They both got it in 2016. Two offensive players.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, Greg Olson
Yes, sir.
Olsen.
and
Dang, Olsen was still there. Okay.
Greg
2016.
and Alamin.
Nah, this is actually a skill position player. I think this one's gonna be
Hmm.
hard. I'm gonna give y'all this hint. He had a lot of nicknames.
A lot of nicknames.
Played a
Not
Yeah.
pace.
Tolbert.
Yes,
Mike
sir.
Tolbert.
the
Okay.
Okay.
the Tubagoo,
Dang,
the
bro. That's
Tolldozer.
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy because y'all kept
Wow.
wanting to skip over certain years, and what I'm realizing now is we've been sorry for so long that y'all like almost forgot. Like, so 2015 we went to the Super Bowl. I said
Yeah.
Spate, you said Greg. I said 2016. Carter was like, he was still there. Yes, he was still there.
Yeah.
The year
Yeah.
right after the Super
I'm
Bowl.
thinking he done
Yes.
retired, bruh.
Nah. Yeah. So man, yeah, we got C-Mac 2022. Luke Kuechly got one in 2019, and Trey Turner in 2019. TD in 2017, and then the Toll Dozer and Greg in 2016. Honorable mention was Cam and Khalil in 2015. But fellas, we haven't had any Pro Bowlers in a while. I mean, we had C-Mac in 2022. He was like the best offensive player in the league. We haven't had anybody since then. So
I'm surprised. Short made a Pro Bowl in there.
yeah,
I'm
but he
surprised
probably
he don't.
he made. I told you he made one in 2014.
Okay.
He
Okay.
made one the year
Mm.
before he went to the Super Bowl because that was the year he got
Super
paid.
Bowl. Yeah,
Yeah,
he got paid. Yeah, he did get paid.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay. And Burns, that's another one that kind of surprised me. But
yeah,
he
Burns
I
didn't make a
think
Super Bowl, Pro Bowl either. He wanted that
not.
money. Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think sometimes, bro, like when you're in Carolina and you got a good player, you rate them higher than they really are. You know what I'm saying? Like Brian,
yeah,
I don't know if Brian is even like a top five DN, which to make the Pro Bowl, you got to be like one of the top six, right?
yeah. You
I
got
think
both
like,
the and the NFC too.
yeah, he's
Yep.
not.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
All
Got
right,
both.
But
but
speaking of Pro Bowlers, the best way to get them is drafting. So as this season wind down, and we're probably going to have a top five, worst case top six pick. Is there any certain need y'all think we should address or player? Um, I can start with me. From early this season, my view on it has not changed. Um, I doubt we're going to finish top three, but if we do, I still say the same thing. Trade down, um, get as many assets as possible. We still need depth. We still need elite players. On the roster, we have two elite players, Horn and Brown, assuming he comes back healthy. Everybody else is still a wait and see. So that's kind of my view on how I think we should handle the draft.
yeah, I mean, you know what I've been saying all off season. I mean, not not only tank for Travis all season, but also just defense. I think we're going to end up with a top 5 pick, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I'm looking at it. You got, obviously, we're not going to have a worse record than the Giants, the Raiders, the Patriots, or the Jags. I think all 4 of those teams are safely below us. But I think as far as between us, Tennessee, and the Browns, I think that we're going to lock in that 5th spot. And the Jets are there too. So I think that we're gonna have our choice. You know what I mean? There's probably gonna be Shador and Cam Ward probably gonna come off the board first. And if that's the case, then we're gonna have our pick of either of the top 2 cornerbacks in the draft, fellas. I mean, we can either get the cornerback from Michigan, who he's a killer, or we can
Will
get
Johnson.
Travis. And yeah, Will Johnson. So you obviously I'd rather have Travis, but is anybody gonna mad if we got another 6'2" corner out there opposite JC and Johnson? I feel like either way, we can't lose with that. Even if we slip down to the 5th pick, we could pick that edge rusher they got coming out of Penn State. So, I mean, we're going to be able to get an impact player.
Yeah, Abdul
In my
Carter.
mind, yeah, what's his name, Carter? Carter,
Abdul
what's his name?
Carter.
Abdul.
Oh, Abdul. So,
Abdul
I
Carter.
think
Yeah,
in my
Abdul Carter.
mind, I feel like I said we should go D line is our probably our biggest need because specifically like either like a rusher or a backup D tackle like, and if we can get like an impact person on the D line, then number 2 I'll go for DB or safety unless Travis Hunter is available, which I would draft him first, and then after that, bro, it's like linebacker and running back, or I feel like would be like number 3. Wide receiver, I'm just gonna hold in the last spot. Even though Coker is clearly the guy who looks to be our best receiver, I don't know if we clearly have a number 1 yet. I mean, they still have some steps to take. So that's kind of the order I would take it.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm really drafting straight defense. I want Tank for Travis. Travis number 1. If he go off the board, if New England jump us and get 3, then I see him being gone. I'm cool with Will Johnson, but I'm cool with Abdul Carter as well. I like the DN out of Tennessee too. I forgot his name. It's a super crazy deep DN draft though. Like D lineman draft. This draft is real deep. On D lineman, edge
Yeah.
rushers, and tight ends. So don't feel like we really need a tight end, but we could take one in like the 7th round or so because we need to go ahead and get Ian Thomas out there. He out of here. He definitely can't come back. He keeps getting hurt every time. So yeah, and then
Yeah, we got to get him
secondary
out of
build
there.
inside out. I'm cool with another linebacker too, but yeah, I would go straight defense. We need depth at D tackle. We need depth at DN, of course. We need depth at corner. I like Wade Smith playing nickel though, so that's cool. I think we could upgrade Woods, and I think we could upgrade. We got Fuller playing safety as well, so I think we could upgrade the entire secondary. And we need depth at those key positions, and we got to be able to pass rush. We need DNs and linebackers, but yeah. So straight defense. I'm going straight defense. I feel like the offense gonna figure itself out, especially if the O line come back. And then if worst case scenario, I take an O lineman just for some depth at the O line. But everything else, we can probably sign a wide receiver in free agency. So that's why I'm not really too pressed on drafting another wide receiver.
Yeah, I going to what you were saying, Brandon, and I probably should say this. Like, I think our biggest hole is edge rusher. Like, we have zero edge rushers, in my opinion, and because this draft is so deep, like if we was to take somebody with that top 5, top 6, I would probably lean Abdul Carter, but I I feel like we can get a pretty good edge rusher late first, early second, and if we can get 2 of them out of there, because we need edge rushers bad. Like I would prefer that over one because I wouldn't consider I don't think Abdul Carter is a Nick Bosa or a Miles Garrett. I think he's really good, but I don't think he's that from what I've seen when I watch Penn State. But you know, I could be wrong, and he be everything that
I
they
mean,
are.
it ain't even that. We just need the depth. I mean, Wanham has been playing great since he's been back, but again, he got hurt, so he missed time, so we have no depth. And then Clowney is what Clowney is. You know what I'm saying? He our age. He been in the league a
Yeah,
while. He's always been. When he's all locked in, he's all locked in. But he'll take plays off at certain points in time. That's still good. But but besides that, we got Charles Harris. So I still don't know who he is, and DJ Johnson has just been I mean, a bust, really. Especially we traded up for him as a third round pick. Barno has been back in the rotation. He's playing all right, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we definitely need D ends, 100%.
Yeah, and just having a guy that people focus on helps, make everybody else job a little bit easier. And we, I don't even know who will be at the top of the scouting report for our D line with Brown out. Like,
Want him, without a question. 100% want him. Want him's been out there doing his thing. He disrupts. They slide all the coverage to him. If we just don't have anyone else to compliment him on the other side, you can easily kind of take it away from him. That's why, you know what I'm saying, Wanham actually having a pretty decent season and has half the price of Brian Burns. So it's a great
Do
move by
y'all
yeah.
see?
Dan.
Do y'all see any scenario where like we got it's out of the top 10 or 12 picks, it's probably 6 or 7 of them are projected to be D linemen. But there's the prize of the drafts are going to be the 2 top quarterbacks. But like, say we do get that number 4 pick, and Tennessee is behind this, Cleveland is behind this, the Jets are behind this. All 3 of those teams are looking to restart their quarterback um, class. Do you see any of them wanting to trade down with us? We maybe collect a couple extra picks. Would you guys do that?
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean, oh, go ahead,
go ahead,
Smith.
Brandon. Oh, I was just gonna say, I think this is for as like top picks. This is a 2 quarterback draft, and
Mm,
I don't see the Raiders or Giants winning another game. So I think they're gonna have 1 and 2. So I just
mhm.
don't know if there's going to be that
Anything
third
worthy
quarterback.
that they would
Yeah,
want to
like
trade
now,
up for? Yeah.
but we all know during the off season, like between the combine and scouts and watching tape, there may be a third quarterback. Now, if that third quarterback rises, then yeah, I could potentially see a team like the Titans
Yeah.
coming up.
I mean, right now they don't even have a quarterback listed in the first round, but another quarterback besides those top 2. So, I mean, I guess you're right about that. It would just have to be, I guess, like a better question would be, do you see any scenario where Dan looks at it and is like, there's so much top tier talent this year, let's pass on maybe getting a Travis Hunter and try to get really 2 really good players, like later on in the first round.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I'm cool with
yeah.
that. I mean, the more picks is the better, man. We got a lot of holes to fill, so
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
because
the more picks, the better for us.
you could see a team looking at it and being like, "Yo, all we need is a daggone a Travis Hunter." Like, say Washington like was looking for an extra piece to put their defense over the top or something like that, and they want to trade up, and we're able to collect a couple picks. I mean, I don't know. It's I want to get Travis Hunter, but there's a reason I'm not a GM, fellas. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know whether getting loading up on picks and getting more talent, if there is top tier talent even at the end of the first round, if that would be smart for us. We got a lot of holes to fill.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the way his track, I think historically before last season, I would have said no, but I got faith in Dan based off of how this past draft has went. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I trust him. I trust him for us to go back and still pick up 2 other quality pieces and quality players. That's really where my faith will kind of lie with him.
Yeah, and honestly, the drafting part, like you said, I trust you. My only knock on Dan is hoping that he maximizes what we can get for it. Would be my only hesitation is if we move back 10 spots and we only get a fourth round out of it, then I'm gonna be hot. But I'd rather us just go take a dual Carter or the D tackle out of Michigan if that's gonna be the case. But yeah, as long as he's able to maximize the value for it. And granted, it's not going to be as high as if somebody's trading up for a quarterback, but still, getting more than just a fourth round out of it. Yeah, I'll be.
Yeah,
I'll trust him with it. He's earned that for right now, anyway. Especially
yeah,
what he's done in later rounds for sure.
absolutely.
But
I mean, ideally, I mean, because we got 2 picks in the second. Well, no, did we just get our second round pick back, or do we have 2 picks in the
Yeah,
second round this year?
I think we might have got it back, but I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I think we just got it
yeah,
back. I think that's what the last trade did. But it is what it is. I definitely want us to pick up an impact player, as many as possible. But it's nothing like on draft day when you get a guy that you actually know and you can be kind of excited about. It's nothing like that. But we've, like I said, like you guys both just said, Dan has done a great job. With the players he decided to bring in and draft. So everybody has worked. I mean, even Ashawn, who somebody just gave game ball to. I mean, that was a nice signing in the offseason. So, yeah, I trust Dan for sure.
Yep. So we have our own first rounder, the Los Angeles Rams second rounder. We have our own third, fourth, the Cowboys fourth, our own fifth, the Giants fifth, and the Ravens fifth. So we got three fifth rounders, two fourths, one third, one second, and our first.
Mm. We're probably going to end up keeping that first then because we backloaded. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're backloaded, and then they only have the Rams second round pick. The Rams ain't gonna have a terrible draft pick, but it's gonna be in the middle. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
So, and that's if they make the playoffs and don't get hot, then that number, that
man,
number gonna
I
go
mean,
even further down.
my whole thing is, bro, like this year just made me realize that even if we get a DB, it's like we can't stop anybody from running the football. And if that's the case, then we're gonna be in trouble most Sundays. And I know Derek is gonna have a help with that a lot, but we're one injury to Brad Brown away from being a suspect defense. I don't know if by having Shaq back, if that's gonna cure up a lot, but we weren't looking good early in the season. And obviously, Evero has got guys playing a lot better as the season has gone on. So maybe it just needed some time to kind of take effect. But I don't know, man. I'm torn on that. I'm almost like I'm with you, Spade. Kind of like as much as I want Travis, it seems like the position that we would need the most is that D lineman, whether it's edge rusher, or defensive tackle. It seems like we need one or the other for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like we seen teams, have good defenses, having the one elite guy on the D line, the one shoot, it was us for a little bit.
Yeah,
Norman, elite linebacker Kuechly, and then having, Charles Johnson and short. We had a couple killers on D line at that point.
you already know. Yeah, yeah.
Jared Allen, like for and that's the other thing too is I want to get back to for a period of time. I would say from our first Super Bowl appearance until our last, we was always in the conversation for best front seven in the NFL. We was always top five, like during that whole time period. And it's like we're not that anymore. Like that used to be Panthers football. Is the front seven is gonna always be good. The secondary at times may be iffy, bend but don't break. And yeah, that just isn't who we are anymore. But
Man, I'm telling you, like, I think it comes down to obviously you got to get right, hit on the picks. D lineman, I feel like we hit on D Brown, but I just feel like you can't emphasize enough not having that quarterback on defense. We went from Dan Morgan to John Beeson to Luke Kuechly, and now who do we got? You know what I'm saying? Like Josie is doing a lot better, but you have to have that quarterback on defense to make sure everybody's in the right spots, calling out all the right plays. You know what I mean? And that's big time. I mean, even if you got a guy back there like Trevin is really good because he can make the tackles, he can clearly diagnose plays, but obviously it's gonna take him a little bit of time to be able to truly run the green dot. Like effectively, like the way Josie can. So I think that's a big factor for us, bro. We have got to identify a linebacker that we can either bring in or that any big time defense, every single defensive team that you could think of, the Steelers, the Bears, the Ravens, they keep that middle linebacker, bro. You got to have a big time middle linebacker. So,
yeah, but you also gotta have all those people you name also had a great D tackle, great D line to allow for them to just play free. Like we don't even
yeah,
have, even if we had that middle linebacker, like
but you
right now, I think the lineman to be on O line to be on him so quick that we wouldn't have the ability to kind of play
but you
free.
but you gotta
Like,
but it's go ahead. I'm sorry.
mm, oh, I'm just saying, like with even with Ray Lewis, he had towards the end of his career, a Lodi Nata to allow him just to play sideline to sideline. Kuechly had short star to allow him to play sideline to sideline. The 49ers always have a pretty good D line, you know, plus Bosa, like to allow them to play sideline to sideline. And I don't think we had a D line right now that would allow for a great linebacker to truly show himself.
But I get what you're saying, but it's like I think that the linebacker makes the defensive end does make the linebacker better, but the linebacker's job is to make everybody's job better. And so that's what I'm saying. Like if you have a linebacker, yeah, he might not be at his top without a great defensive line in front of him, but that defensive line, that back end, sure as hell ain't gonna be at their best without the guy in the middle calling out the plays, getting everybody in position. And so when you think about all the teams that I just named with the good defenses, yeah, they got a really good defensive lineman too. But when you think of teams that have the big time DN but don't have the linebacker, their defense is going to be shaky or it's going to go up and down. When you think about the Browns defense is not that good this year. Myles Garrett is still nice, you know what I'm saying? But you can't name anybody on that linebacker core worth note. And I don't really know anybody that DBs, and I don't think their team changed overnight. But if your guys all of a sudden your pass rush ain't getting home for 1 year, then you're gonna be in trouble. I mean, so I don't know, bro. I get what you're saying. I think you need both of them. And right now, because we already have a star on the defensive line, I do feel like it's like, man, there's a hole in that on that linebacking core who until we can upgrade either the Shaq spot or something like that, it's gonna be glaring, man. It's gonna be glaring.
Yeah, but yeah, I agree with that. With my only point just being, I think of every middle linebacker that we deem good, all of them have a good to great D tackle. Even Levante David got, Vita and Tampa. Like all of them have a good D tackle to allow them to not just call plays, but able to make plays because they have somebody, eating up blocks there. Where when you don't have that, like, yeah, the linebacker can call the right play, but if the O line is on them, by the time the running back get there, ain't much he can really do. But with that being said, we still got a game coming up. We don't have many left, but we got one of three to pick left, and we got the Cardinals, another not great team, but they're doing a little more winning than we are for sure. How do you guys have that game? What score do you have for that game?
I think I got I got 27-17 Cardinals. I think they'll be able to run the ball. I mean, I think they're going to kind of be able to do what they want. I think our offense will play a lot better this week, but I mean, we don't got nothing for Kyler Wills. We don't got nothing for James Conner, and we really don't got nothing for Marvin Harrison Jr. if they put him in the slot. So yeah, I think we'll put up a better performance than we did against the Cowboys, but I mean, I also think that Arizona isn't that bad of a team. They had an opportunity to win their division. Although it's a down year for their division, they still kind of in the hunt with that, especially getting the wild card in the NFC. I don't believe they're out of it yet. So I think they'll have what they want on offense again. I think, but we'll be able to move the ball. We'll put up 17 points, but yeah, I got Arizona 27-17.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna pick us to win again this week. I feel like the boys are going to come back this week and have some pride to them. That's the one thing that our team has had all season is some pride. And I think that, the defense is going to want to show up a lot better. Kyler is going to give us problems. We have no answer for that. But I do feel like we can somewhat stymie their offensive attack. And so I got us winning 24-21. I think Bryce is going to come back, have a bounce back game. And yeah, 24-21 Panthers.
Um, I got us winning 30-21. I think two things are going to happen for us to win. One, there's no everybody expects us to lose. We're not favored. Nobody's picking us. So I think Bryce will have a decent game. And Kyler, the book on him for the past few years is get off to a hot start. And as the season, starts to wane, he kind of falls back. And I think this is something that even if Bryce is successful, he'll deal with as well, just being small. Um, I don't know. I think it kind of wanes on the smaller player playing in a big man's league. But yeah, I got this one
That's
in
the reason
30.
for his problems. Is he falls off because he's a shorter quarterback in the end of the season?
Oh, not just shorter, smaller. Because one, he plays a little more physical game. Because he runs, he scrambles a lot. So I do think throughout the season the hits pile up, and
Oh, okay. You're saying
yeah,
you're just saying he's banged up because he's smaller.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
he's smaller and he plays. You know what I mean? He's not like a Drew Brees who's completely behind the pocket. That's why I don't think that affect Drew. But he is, more scrambler. He takes on more hits, more contact. So I think it wears on the bigger quarterback, but on the smaller one, it wears even, quicker in my opinion. And so that's why I think every year it's the same kind of thing. Kyler starts off hot, and as the season goes, he starts to taper off. So I think the combination of that and Bryce get to play carefree. Yeah, I see us winning.
Yeah, yeah. We will see, fellas. We will see.
Well, hey everybody, once again, if you're here to this point, we truly appreciate it. Continue to watch, like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, we're YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify. Getting back on Apple Podcasts soon. You know, continue